My 5 days in Egypt, a journey through time and soul. Day 1. Hello, Cairo, land of pharaohs and first impressions. The moment I stepped off the plane and onto Egyptian soil, Cairo greeted me with that intoxicating blend of chaos and charm. The city pulsed with life, from the honking taxis to the swirl of desert dust in golden sunlight. My tour guide met me with a warm smile and a sign that read, "Welcome, Alice," a simple gesture that instantly melted away my jet lag. We drove through Cairo's crowded streets, past palm-lined boulevards and grand mosques until we reached the hotel. The call to prayer echoed in the distance as the sun dipped low over the Nile. That evening, I had dinner overlooking the river, watching feluccas drift lazily in the dusk. Summary of the day: Cairo's chaos felt like a heartbeat, loud, vibrant, and utterly alive. Day 2. Giza dreams, standing before the giants. Nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared me for my first sight of the Great Pyramids of Giza. I'd seen them in books and on screens all my life, but being there in person, I had goosebumps. The sheer scale, the geometric precision, the silence despite the surrounding crowds, it felt otherworldly. And then, just a short walk away, the Sphinx, staring through time with its eternal gaze. We continued on to the Valley Temple. A space once used in the mummification process. There was something haunting about standing where ancient priests prepared royalty for eternity. The highlight for me? The Grand Egyptian Museum, GEM. Imagine standing inches from the treasures of Tutankhamun, his dazzling gold mask, his sandals, even his childhood toys. I wandered in awe, marveling at the artistry and symbolism. Lunch brought us to a local restaurant where I tried my first molohia, green, garlicky, and oddly comforting. Summary of the day. Looking into the eyes of the Sphinx felt like staring straight into history. Day 3. Flight to Luxor, a city bathed in gold and glory. We rose early for our 06 a.m. flight to Luxor, and even in my sleep-deprived haze, the view from the plane, sunrise over the Nile, was pure poetry. Luxor was like an open-air museum. After checking into the hotel, we hit the ground running. First stop, the Valley of the Kings. I stepped into tombs painted with vibrant scenes of the afterlife. The air smelled of sandstone and something ancient. One tomb in particular, Ramses IV, was mind-blowing with its still bright hieroglyphs. Next, we visited the Temple of Queen Hatshepsut, a structure so elegant it seemed to grow out of the cliffs behind it. I found myself drawn to her story, a woman who defied tradition and ruled as pharaoh. The colossi of Memnon were our final stop. Massive, brooding statues that have stood watch over centuries. Their cracked features seemed almost human in the golden afternoon light. That evening, I had the option to attend the sound and light show at Karnak Temple. I went, and wow, hearing the pharaoh's tales echo across the stones under starry skies, goosebumps all over again. Summary of the day. Descending into a pharaoh's tomb was like falling into a dream older than time. Day 4, Karnak and Luxor Temples, glory in stone. After breakfast, we explored Karnak Temple, a vast complex that once was Egypt's religious heart. I walked through the hypostyle hall, its towering columns catching the morning sun in a golden haze. Each pillar was etched with divine stories. Each step felt like walking in the footsteps of gods. Later, we arrived at the Luxor Temple, beautifully preserved and equally majestic. I marveled at its obelisks and statues. But what moved me most was the way the ancient structure stood proudly amid the modern city, past and present, coexisting in plain sight. That night, we boarded our flight back to Cairo. I watched the lights of Luxor fade from the window, still buzzing from all I had seen. Summary of the day. At Karnak, the gods didn't feel like myths. They felt like neighbors. Day 5. Farewell, Egypt. One last look. As I packed my bags in Cairo for the flight home, I looked out at the skyline, minarets piercing the sky, the Nile winding below. This trip had been short, but soul-stirring. Egypt wasn't just about monuments and mummies, it was about presence, stillness, spirit. Summary of the day. Egypt left sand in my shoes and eternity in my heart.